Hey folks, welcome to Software Testing Hacks. Today we have Ditya along with me for mock interview. Hi Ditya, welcome to mock interview session. And could you also please introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for giving the opportunity to take the mock for me. Myself, Aditya Krishna Prasad. I am from Andhra Pradesh, and I have completed my BTech in the year 2022 in the mechanical stream with 6.3 CGPA. Along with, I have completed my intermediate in the year 2016 with 76%, and at last, I have completed my SSC in the year 2014 with 9.6 GPA. So when it comes to my technical skills as part of software testing course, I have learned manual testing, core Java, Selenium, and SQL. Now I'm currently learning the API testing. When it comes to my strength, I was very quick to learn, and I'm eager to learn new technologies. When it comes to my weakness, I have overthinking problem. So, however, I'm overcome it. So when it comes to my academic project, I have done on welding since I am from the mechanical department. So it's about it's the name called optimization of process parameters in CMD welding. And along with I have also done a small sample project on the manual testing where I took one application and I just randomly tested the application using different types of black box techniques. And that's all about me. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Uh, so, do you know what is software testing? First of all, the definition and
Yeah.
what is your understanding on software testing?
Testing is nothing but finding the software whether which is there as per the customer requirement or not. We will check whether customer has fulfilled with our software or not. We will check whether each and every functionality is working as per the requirement or not. We will check. That is called software testing.
Okay. Can you give me an example of, your understanding? Just take an example of any application and just give me a sample
Yeah.
of how do you test it?
Yeah. Let us take Amazon as an example. Like the customer will give the requirement like this is how my software should be like this. So as a test engineer, what we need to do is we need to check each and every functionality whether that functionality is behaving as per the expected or not. We will check each and every functionality by writing all test cases. And once after writing test cases, we start executing each and every test cases.
Okay. In that process, if you find a bug, what you will do,
Yes, ma'am.
and what are the different types of defects that that are there?
Yeah. Okay. So as a test engineer, if we found any defects in the software, then we need to intimate it to the developer in a tool called defect tracking tool. So when it comes to defects, we have four types of defects. One is blocker defect, critical defect, major and minor defects. These are the four defects we have. Blocker is nothing but whenever we are testing any functionality of an application, if the defect is blocking the test engineer to test the particular functionality, we can call it as blocker defect. For example, let us say I just want to send some money to some user. So once after entering amount and if I click on send means if it is not allowing me to send the money to the particular user means then we can consider it as a blocker defect. So the next one is critical defect. Critical defect in the sense it's a defect, but it's not affecting the customer's business. Like for example, I can take the similar example as well. Where I will enter some amount in the amount text field. When I click on send, it is not showing any message in the page that this amount was successfully transferred. So at that time, I can consider it as a critical defect. So when it comes to major defect, let us take I have ordered something in some Amazon where I was unable to see it in the cart or orders list. So at that time, I can say it as a major defect. So minor defect in the sense like alignment issues, spelling mistakes, and all, we can consider it as a minor defects.
Yeah, in the other example, that major example that you gave, no, it is kind of a critical defect because what happens is
Yeah,
it is impacting the real-time user. For a
yeah, yes,
major
ma'am.
defect, you can say that suppose that defect, you know, it is not urgently needs to be fixed or addressed, but in that case,
Mm.
that needs to be addressed immediately,
Yeah,
right?
it can be fixed in within next cycles.
So that you can consider as major defects. Okay.
Major. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Uh, can you tell me what are the reasons for defect leakage?
So maybe missing the requirements, like since developer without getting into the without knowing the requirement, if he developed any particular functionality, the chances are there that we might get defect. And due to wrong requirement also, we may get few defects. And due to missing the requirement also, we may get few defects. So these are all the some points for getting the defects.
Right, good. So do you know what is regression testing?
So regression testing is nothing but testing the unchanged features to make sure that changes are not broken. For example, let us say in a login page, there is a button called forgot account password,
Hmm.
forgot password link. So while testing that application, if I get to know that the particular link is broken, what I will do is I will intimate it to developer that a particular function is that particular link is broken. So developer will go to particular code and he will do some changes in the code and he will do white box testing, and once again he will give the new build to the test engineer. So as a test engineer, we need to test the first fixed defect. First, we need to fix the particular defect. So once after fixing the defect, we need to test each and every application within related to it. So due to changes, it should not impact in those other functionalities.
What will happen if we do not do regression testing? That is right. Whatever you said is right. But what will happen in case if you don't do regression testing now? There is some
So
feature that is changed, but you know, something because of time constraint or something, you could not do the regression testing. What could be the impact?
I think chances are there that the particular software might get a lot of defects in the when it is shifted to the production, so that customer might lose his business.
Hmm. Any other thing you can think of? Suppose, okay, fine. There is a major defect. Let's say that there is a major defect. You could not proceed with do the regression testing, and there is a critical defect that is being leaked to the production. So, what is the step that software testers or software team has to take now? What step they have to take because the code is already in production now. So, what we have to do next?
I think we need to fix it as early as possible within the next few cycles.
Do you know what is that called as?
Sorry, ma'am, I couldn't able to remember it. I think it's
Hotfix.
sprint, right? Hotfix. Okay, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. Hotfix, yes.
Hmm.
I've heard it
Yeah. So we have to fix it immediately. Okay. Which is
immediately. Yes,
called
ma'am.
as hot fix. Yeah.
Hotfix,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And you know about Agile, right? So you have
Yes, ma'am.
idea of Agile. So why it is important to follow Agile process?
So when it comes to traditional model, customer need to wait till the whole product is completed. Like for example, if you take in the waterfall model, where customer will give the requirement at the beginning, he need to wait till the whole product is completed. So chances are there that during that time the customer might change his business as well. So in order to overcome it, we will go for the agile methodology. In the agile methodology, where we develop a software in a sprint wise, that is the major advantage of choosing agile over all the traditional methods.
What is sprint?
Sprint is nothing but it's a process. Sorry, just a minute, ma'am. Sprint is a process which we frequently use in agile methodology to build the application.
Yeah, usually it will be in a span between 2 to 4 weeks. It completely
Okay.
depends on how they follow. Some of the
Yeah.
companies, follow 1 week of sprint, 2 week of sprint, up to
Yes,
four
ma'am.
weeks. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So it will, and also, do you know how frequently application needs to be upgraded? If any application is there, how frequently it needs to be upgraded?
I think it depends upon the requirement of the client, because in the agile there is frequently changes in requirements, so we can expect requirement changes at any time.
Not requirement changes. Basically, it is a good practice. Yeah, within like 15 days. In 15 days, if we
Okay.
upgrade or update the product, it is a good practice always. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So, what is smoke testing? And you have to, tell me the difference between smoke testing and sanity testing also.
So definitely. So whenever we get the build from the developer, first we need to start with the smoke testing because in the smoke testing, what we will do is we need to test the basic and critical features of an applications. Like senior test engineer will divide all the functionalities and he will decide what are all the functionalities that will need to be tested in the part of smoke testing, and what are all the things that we need not to test in the part of smoke testing. So by looking at to the that document, we will start testing this. We'll start performing the smoke testing. So that is called smoke testing. Sanity testing in the sense whenever the defect has been fixed, the testing unit should start performing sanity testing to check whether the particular defect is really been fixed or not. So that is the difference between smoke testing and sanity testing.
Okay, right. So, I have given you an application which doesn't have any documentation. Okay, you don't have any documentation, but still you have to test it. So, what is your approach towards it?
So we can go with the exploratory testing. So based on the experience, we will find out what are all the functionalities that it has. So by exploring all the features in it, we'll start testing that particular application.
Right. Right. And sometimes there are chances that you might not have documentation available. So it
Yes,
is always exploring, uh, even if you join any company, first you have to understand the application. To understand the application, definitely you have to do a kind of exploratory testing. Even though there is a
yes,
documentation, that's fine and good. You can refer that
yes,
and
ma'am.
also do some doc testing. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So what is test plan?
So test plan. So here we will find out what are all the aim of the testing, like for what we are testing, for which method is should we approach for testing the particular application, how much time it will take to test the application, how many engineers are needed to test the application. There we will get to know by using test plan.
Okay. What is the risk? All this will be,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
that,
listed in this test plan. Right.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have different types of integration testings, right? Top-down
Yes,
approach,
ma'am. Top
bottom-up
and bottom.
approach,
Yes, ma'am.
and sandwich approach. So can you tell me what does that mean?
So basically, integration testing is consists of two types. One is incremental integration testing and non-incremental integration testing. So when it comes to incremental integration testing, we have two approaches like top-down approach and bottom-up approach. So top-down approach means first we will start with the module A, then we will test with the module B. So once after testing both the A and B, we will get to, if there is any data flow between two modules, we will test the module of integration testing between A and B. Like that, we will test step by step. Whereas in the bottom-up approach, where we will start testing from the last module to that particular module. So that's the difference between top-up and bottom-up integration testing.
Okay. In that case, suppose if any of the module is not present, we have to prepare a dummy module. Okay. Do you know
Okay.
what it is termed as?
Mm, sorry, I haven't heard of it.
Have you heard of stubs and drivers?
No, no.
No. Okay. Suppose say if you want to test the integration between A and B, at that time, if one of the module which is dependent module which is not ready, that time they will
Okay.
create a dummy working model. Okay, module
Okay.
which is called as
Okay.
stubs. In case of top-down
That's
approach,
okay.
in case of drivers, it will be called as sorry. In case of bottom-up approach, it will be called as drivers.
Okay.
Dummy working
Got it.
module basically. Okay.
Okay.
So you have knowledge on automation testing also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So automation using what tool you have learned it?
I've used Selenium now.
Okay, Selenium and Java, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Selenium and Java combination.
okay, okay. Suppose say um there is a automation testing, okay,
Yes.
but there is a defect, but we could not find that defect using the automation testing. So,
Okay.
what could be the reason in that case?
So due to some changes in the requirement, maybe if they have any changes in the code, then you may not get the same defect.
But it is not, it did not tell that the test case, it did not fail the test case. So
Okay.
we did not get to know like there is a
So I
defect.
think the test engine might have used the software session. So due to
No,
it, the software session
it doesn't require to be software session, but maybe because of the coverage.
coverage. Okay.
Maybe, yeah, could be that might not have been covered. Some of the
Okay.
other cases could also be there, right?
Okay.
Okay. Java, what is package?
Package, it consists of a set of classes where we write the code and we'll compile and we'll execute the code in a package.
Okay. And what is polymorphism?
So polymorphism is nothing but one method is acting in different ways. So when we call it, so we have two types of polymorphism. One is compile time polymorphism and one is runtime polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism runs on method overloading, whereas runtime polymorphism works on a method overriding. So method overloading is nothing but same if class has same methods but with different signatures, we can call it as method overloading. So whereas in the method overriding, where parent and child has same methods, so we can automatically override the method. That is called the method overriding.
Okay. Suppose I have declared a method as final. Can I
Yes, ma'am.
override that method?
So final method we cannot override it.
We cannot override it. Why?
Since finally is a keyword which is once we have declared variable, sorry, once we declared final keyword with any of the method, so we cannot do any changes on it.
What happens if I, declare it with a class, final
Plus
keyword
we
with,
cannot, yeah, we cannot inherit to any of the classes.
right? Okay. And can we create the object of interface?
Yes, ma'am, we can create the object for the interface.
Is it? Suppose say, that WebDriver is an interface, right?
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
We say that WebDriver is equal to new Chrome
New,
driver or new
yeah,
Firefox driver. We don't declare it as interface.
WebDriver. Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
then can we create the object of interface then?
So what we will do is we will maintain easy relationship with the class. So through class, we will create the class. We will create that particular object for the class. Through that class, we can able to call the methods of the interface.
So basically, we are creating the reference of interface, right?
Reference of interface.
Right. Okay. Let's say, let me tell you that. Okay, can you write a program to find second largest number? Do you have notepad or something which you can
Yeah, ma'am, I
share
have it.
us?
Eclipse, ma'am. Can I write it in the Eclipse, ma'am?
Anywhere, anywhere,
Or,
anything should be fine.
or ma'am, just a minute. I'm going to share my screen as well.
Yeah.
Just a moment, I think it's not opening.
Okay.
Ma'am, I was unable to share the screen.
You should have all the permission. But that's
Ma'am, we
okay.
already
Can
showing.
you just explain me the logic at least?
So like
You
first,
have been,
so
um,
for an array like ma'am,
yeah, in an array or anywhere.
so first I will choose array.
Hmm?
So like let us take int a is equals to 2 comma 3 comma 4 like that. So
Yeah.
once after getting the array, once after initializing and declaring the array, I will write for loop for it. So like for int I is equals to 0 or I less than that particular array dot length, and I will increment the value by I plus plus, where in that I will write like ARR of I divided by 2. So I will get the value of that particular second highest value
If
in
you
that given array.
divide it by two, whether you will get it.
So,
So first you can sort the array, right? First you
yes,
can
ma'am. Yeah.
sort the array and then you can find wherever the position is minus 2.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Two.
you will find the, yeah, in the array you
Oh,
can search for the second,
sure.
uh, value. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Great. So fine. You have worked on. Sorry, you said that you have Selenium experience, right? Yeah. Okay. One second, if I can share my screen. Okay, I will share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. I can able to see the screen. Your screen.
Okay. Yeah. So, can you tell me the scenarios for automation testing if you want to search something, suppose say shoes, okay, and
Yes, ma'am.
I'll enter the shoes and
Yes, ma'am.
I want to select this second item. I want to select the second item. So can you tell me like how can you do it?
For automation script right now. So first I will copy the URL of that particular application, and I will
Okay.
start writing the code like I will write web driver is supposed to be from driver. So through driver dot get method, I will fetch the URL of the particular application. So once after getting the application, like I will use implicitly wait for drive element and find element methods. Once after writing it, I will search the particular I will search the search locator using some different locators. So once after capturing the locator, I will just pass it as a send keys method. Through send keys method, I can able to pass whatever the data that I want to enter in the search text field. So once after passing the data, I will inspect the search button. So I will fetch the address of the particular web element through similar locator. So I will write like driver.find element by that particular locator, and I use a method called click method. So once after clicking it, I will get the particular page which consists of the particular products. So once after getting the particular product pages, first I will inspect this editor's menu. So after
If you
inspecting it,
inspect, yeah, okay, yeah, please.
so after inspecting it, I will get to know what are all the locators which are used to fetch that particular element. So once after fetching that element, we will get we will get the text or we will get the attributes of that particular thing. That's how I can.
Okay. And you will click it. So that's all right. You can click and
Yes, ma'am.
verify
If
all
I
these.
don't, I will. Yeah, whether the particular products is products message is displayed or not, I'll check. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Good. So um so in actions class basically. So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
things you can perform using actions class?
In actions class, we can perform mouse over action and we can double click. We can perform right click as well, and we can perform drag and drop. So in order to perform all these actions, we use default method called dot perform method.
Right. Which keyboard events also, right? Keyboard
Yeah,
plus
keyboard.
mouse events. Right.
Yes, ma'am, keyboard plus mouse settings. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So apart from that, can you explain me the architecture of Selenium WebDriver?
So it context is the supermost interface in the Selenium WebDriver, Selenium architecture, where it consists of two abstract methods. One is find element method, and second one is find elements method. So once after such context, we have WebDriver interface. So since WebDriver interface has 11
No, no.
abstract methods,
I'm asking about the WebDriver architecture. Architecture in the sense, how does it communicate with real browser? Do you know?
uh, starting on I couldn't able to remember.
Okay. So you will use the Chrome driver, Firefox driver, and all that, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
it has to communicate with. So how it will
Yes, ma'am.
communicate is via JSON wire protocol. Have you heard of it?
Yes,
So
and
these JSON wire protocol, it sends the data in the form of JSON, and that's
yes,
how
and
it
yes.
communicates. Yeah, the driver webs communicate in that way. So that's how
Okay, ma'am.
architecture is.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have covered almost from most of the topics.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to your feedback, yeah, I think you have good knowledge of manual testing and automation testing. Automation testing, just try to, write the code by yourself. Just give a
Sure, ma'am.
try
Okay.
on some of the applications, Amazon or Flipkart, any
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the website. So you will get a good hands-on on that. If sometimes, if they ask you to write the XPath and all, so you will be
Yes, ma'am.
having a good hands-on by yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So apart from that, do you have anything?
So, ma'am, so can you just tell me what are all things that I have need to improve in Java as well, so that I can able to improve it?
Java, I think you have good understanding of the major concepts, whichever I have asked, you have good understanding of it. Yeah, better you just try to implement it. So that's how you will
Sure.
be able to remember it, for longer period of time.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you have anything, otherwise
No,
we can
ma'am.
end the call.
Sure, ma'am, definitely. Thanks for taking the mock again, ma'am.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.